Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to more from the Golden Path Internationals. I'm your host, commentator, the BlackShadow, and we are gearing up for Group C action as the group stages get underway for the tournament. Of course, being sponsored by Unfussable Narratives, running the Hidden Pick Leader system. Before we get underway with this one, I want to spend a couple minutes being joined by the wonderful AgentOfZion, my tournament predecessor, if you will, who's going to be joining me for commentary for this one. But I want to spend a couple of minutes checking up largely how you are, man. Hopefully you're keeping fairly well.
Oh, I am doing great. I am back in the States and got my new house set up and whatnot. And after some stress with that, I've been kind of jumping back into Dune, and I've been loving it.
Agent had been noted, was possibly going to be doing this tournament here, but obviously with everything going on, it was figured it was not going to be as feasible. So here we are.
Yeah, I ended up having to rip all the plumbing out of my house and then also replace the furnace right before winter. That was fun.
Yikes. Yikes, oh yikes. So, before we get in the game, just want to have a chat with a couple of the groups here. I don't know if you've had much of a chance to sample many of the groups in the tournament so far, even your own. I kind of noticed you've got a pretty not a bad little group actually. We've got a Holy Boss there, Roma, Grok Disco, who my understanding is you know, I'm guessing. Is my understanding?
Yeah. So when a couple years back, 4 years ago at this point, 4 or 5 years ago, I met him playing a different game called Star Wars Destiny. We became pretty good friends through that, and out of 160 people, I got to get matched with my buddy, I guess.
Some things never change, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not surprising. To be fair, though, like when we were doing the draw a few nights ago, there are some absolutely crazy groups, as there always is when you do these sort of draws. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at one of them. Group B, for example, absolute firecracker of a group. Orski, Lannister, Pons, Q32, 4th place from last tournament, LSR, just absolute, just crazy matches all over the place.
Yeah, I don't think that it is unfair to call that one the group of death.
I mean, there are some bad ones. Group A as well is pretty harsh on my fellow co-commentator CJ. He's been paired with Patience, and obviously Dryzo, reigning champion. Group L as well is probably the European group of death. There is just everyone there is a strong player. Someone very good at this game is going to be missing out here. Is there any
how do you do VPs in metric?
How do I do VPs in metric?
Bad jokes. Bad jokes.
I see. Sorry, everyone. It's been a long week. I do apologize. But yeah, no, there's some really, really fascinating groups. Unless there's any others that have caught your eye.
So I was actually looking over at Group G. So having spent quite a bit of time with playing games with Roar, I think that I think Roar is going to get out of that group stage and is going to tear up afterwards. I think people are going to discount Roar, and I'd probably put money on Daddy Will in there as well.
Yeah, Daddy's a solid player. Obviously, many of us know about Samansi, very, very accomplished. But there's some other good players in there as well. I think it could be pretty tight. I don't think there's any easy groups in this. There's good players in every single one of these groups.
I'm the only good player in mine.
Oof. We shall see. That's big words. Gonna have to back that one up there. You heard it here first, everyone.
I'm gonna get demolished. It's gonna be amazing.
Indeed, but it should be good stuff. I'm super looking forward to it though. I'll say 160 players. We got it in less than 3 days. Just completely ridiculous.
No, it's wild. Really, really good call on your part by splitting people up by generalized time zone. That's gonna make it a lot easier to schedule these matches from the player perspective. And we've got kind of a good commentating team all around the world as well. So hopefully we can get a lot more of these recorded.
Very much so. We do feature a expanded commentary team. Me and CJ, we covered a lot for 2 people, but we've got over 200 matches to be played over the next 3 months for this tournament. It's a lot for 2 people, putting it mildly.
A little bit.
So yeah, hopefully myself, Zion, CJ, and others will be able to bring you as many of these games as possible over the next few months. Right then, everyone, so we're just getting geared up for the Group C game here. So a quick reminder of the format. There are 160 players playing amongst 20 groups. 8 games per group, everyone playing 4 games. It is 5 points for the winner of each match, 3 points for second place, 2 points for third, and a point for fourth. At the end of the group stages, first and second of the group will qualify straight to the knockouts. Third, fourth, and some of the fifths will have to go through the wild cards in order to reach their way there. This is using the hidden picks leader selection. So leaders are selected from fourth player to third to second to first. And they will be picking 8 of the 14 leaders. 6 are randomly removed, and then the remaining 8 are picked in secret. No one is able to see what anyone else picked before everyone is chosen, and then everything is revealed face up. So while the players are just getting set up here, curious to ask your thoughts on the hidden picks format that we're using for leader selection. Obviously, it's one of the things I wanted to bring for this tournament. I think could be really super cool compared to what we've been using, but I don't know what your thoughts are on it.
So I actually love it. Even I don't think it's like perfectly balanced, although with a game like this, no matter what method you choose for leader selection, nothing is going to be perfectly balanced. It's all going to be a little wobbly one way or the other. Mm-hmm. But it's different. It's variable, and it introduces a lot more interesting choices, I think, in the first 2 seconds of the game.
All right, then. So, let's have ourselves a look at the board here for our Imperial Row. So we've got Imperial Spy, Better Justice Sister, Power Play, Wilmrise, and Charney. So not the cheapest row going. Artillery, Restrictive Ordnance, and Hog Projectors are tech. So looking pretty combat heavy, this board here. As for our leaders, we're missing the Beast, which I think would have been absolutely fantastic for this board here. So that's going to be a little bit of a shame. It is going to be blue as first player, which means that it will be Bothans Pie to open up the picking here in fourth position. Bothans a pretty heavily regular on the Dune ranked system and could be a good shout for the group. Ivan, though, definitely knows his way around the board. So, yeah, I would love to have seen a Beast here, but he's not here. So it makes this a bit awkward to begin with. We're going to see Hundro, second game in a row, Hundro taken in fourth position.
I don't think that's too unusual. Hundro doesn't rely on any one specific thing. He can just kind of play things as they lie and find his way through. I don't hate him in fourth. He's good there, I think.
I think there should definitely be more experimenting of like him and Yuna in the later positions. Yuna's maybe a bit more spurious, perhaps, but Hundro, yeah, I think he definitely has some extra versatility that perhaps struggles with. Looking at the rest of the board here, I mean, Ilban, I wouldn't like. We got a Baron in third. I mean, Baron's going to get picked here pretty straightforward. Out of the rest of the leaders, though, this gets a little bit tricky. Yuna, I suspect, we'll probably see. Tezia would be cool to see, but feels a little bit... Playing Tezia when there's a power play on the Imperium row straight away feels kind of scary. And kind of uncomfortable, really. But there's loads of faction access here. Imperial Spy, Bedros, even Charney, for the early water. And we do see Tezia Vernius picked by Ivan here. This is going to be a very interesting game with Baron on her left.
I very much enjoy Tessia in the first player position. When available, that's when I'll snag her up.
Oh yeah, I think Tessia anyway. I think she can even be in the back end, can do some fun stuff. But early on, she can kind of like play a bit kind of Baronish. If it's like an early persuasion combat, then that's really good for him. We're going to see Ilban in the first spot, which it doesn't feel like the best feeling pick, but it was kind of hard to know what else was going to be available here, so a little bit tricky. Let's have a look at what we've got here. So Hundro picking up Tactician and War Chest. Definitely going to be taking the War Chest here. Don't know whether he'll be keeping that all the way for the endgame victory point, or maybe cashing it in for like an early point. We'll have to see how things progress. Baron taking the usual 2 alliances for his Masterstroke ability. And we're going to get ourselves underway.
Makes a certain amount of sense. I love Ilban with hidden picks. Hidden picks, I think, is a buff to Ilban. Just because you're only ever risking picking him in first. And even then, if you do see Leto, you're in the clear.
Oops. May have accidentally flashed his tokens there, had the Baron, but it's fine, it's the usual too, so it's not a big surprise. Yeah, I think Ilban as well is certainly someone who probably benefits more from hidden picks. He's less likely to be like counter-picked against, like some picks Ilban, then someone just goes Leto first. So you definitely see that less often. We're underway here, and it is a persuasion combat straight away, so this is a real benefit for Tessia Vernius, who surely, if from Find Diplomacy card, will be smashing Hardy Warriors, and it is definitely there. Finds both of them. That's a really nice opening hand for Tessia. You kind of want to get your Signet Ring on the second hand, not really the first. Gives you a bit more versatility. So that's going to be really super nice for her. Very much guaranteed, I would imagine. Unless Baron absolutely barrels here somehow to win this combat and get first access to shipping.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other move if you are Tessia here other than taking that Hardy Warriors yourself.
100%. Like, if you're Baron or Tessia and you're in the first two positions and it's a persuasion combat, like Hardy Warriors and just try and take the combat down is so strong. For one reason or t'other to try and secure it. But it will be Ilban first, who picks up both his diplomacy-style cards as well. So I'd imagine Fold Space is probably fine. There's a lot of spice on offer, though, for this combat, though. So that's going to tempt some players. Well, and wouldn't you know it, Ilban decides to go off the beaten track, and he's not going to allow it, and he gets stuck in immediately with Hardy Warriors, almost as a denial. Hello, it has begun.
I greatly disagree with just putting 3 troops in, though.
I think he's figuring he's probably going to mine, or he's going to go steel suits. He imagines he's going to get one of those spaces, and he'll probably put in the rest of them. That's what it says. If you don't put them all in, you're kind of saying, hey, I'm going to put in even more troops.
Oh, yeah, I just popped over. I'm like, the only reason I would ever do that is if I was planning on using reconnaissance or signets, and
yeah,
he doesn't have it.
So
these combats are too important.
Yeah, well, Tessia is not going to have the best of fourth spaces here to use her Seek allies potentially. We'll see how it goes. Baron open up with smuggling. He might be looking to go maybe... Well, he's got both his daggers, though. He would love to get steel suits here, but he's going to perhaps struggle to get there. Only person to draw both daggers. Hundro with not a really good opening hand here, so he's probably going to feel inclined to go hunting for some spice, and does, taking Hager Basin to start with here. Start getting his shipping underway. Never too fun when your opening move of Hundro is your ring immediately. You got no diplomacy-style cards. It's a little bit awkward. Because you kind of face up as well, because if people are paying to open up with that, it's like, how do you ever have any faction access? That feels kind of bad.
If I'm Tessia here, I'm pretty thrilled with how this is playing out, especially if Wealth makes it back around to me here. Guaranteed to have Signet next round.
Yeah, and you just go like Carthag or something like that. Get the troops in, get the buff there, and yeah, you're pretty happy with this. Even if you just go like secrets or something, even that's not too bad. I'd be tempted to even go steel suits if it's available, just as a denial. You know, secure the extra spot, the extra water as well. Give you some options, maybe round 3 for Great Flat. But Ilban's going to go there first, which I think is totally reasonable, and I think should probably be putting in a 4th troop here. So
yeah, you don't want to be water poor.
No, definitely not in this sort of game. So put in the 4th troop, which looks good. So Tessia to Wealth looks fairly straightforward, and Baron is going to be hating his life here. Absolutely hating it. But it's the way it's kind of gone here. So those 2 daggers doing completely nothing here in this game. Eyeing up probably just a trip to secrets. Is there any call for early revealing? It's not even that much good here. Bene Gesserit's sister and
no.
Spy, all he can get. So.
No, you're happy with Spy if it comes to you in 3rd. I think you just head up Tech Negotiator, take your free artillery.
Yeah, that's also an option. Yeah, it gives you the extra point as well if something half decent comes off, like Web of Power or something, I guess. But it feels bad to have diplomacy in your first hand and not play it. Feels pretty rubbish.
Secrets is really devalued here because Hundro knows what it is.
This is a very good point. That does hurt you a little bit here. But
I may if someone had gone Carthag and I had a random intrigue, I might have taken it, but
nah, he is gonna take it. I don't hate it, but it feels kind of bad to have those 2 daggers and then just sailing off to the wind here. It feels extra bad as well, because when you look to Master Stroke in the next round with your Seek allies, you don't have any daggers to back that up as well, so that also feels kind of bad.
Yep. I really think tech negotiation was the play there, because not only do you just take artillery for free, which is always nice, that would have put him at 4 persuasion after 2 people taking some stuff off the row that leaves a lot of options open for you. And, even the worst of them is Arrakis Liaison and maybe that Imperial Spy or Liaison and a Guild Administrator.
Could have been worse. So Hundro takes it instead, which is always handy. So Beatrice is taken for Ilban with 3 persuasion. Tezia also with only a couple of persuasion. She'll take the Imperial Spy, I would imagine, and does. But Baron's going to be able to pick up his Guild Administrator, so he won't feel terrible about this. I mean, it could be a lot worse. He will eventually start being able to make more use out of that. So it's not horrible. And then Hundro's going to have 5 to buy here, so power play looks fairly likely. Try and find a spot to swing that into fold space, you would feel.
I think Chani. I think I'd take Chani there.
I mean, it's the more adventurous of the two. Power play feels the more natural, but I'm not totally discounting it. The extra water straight away is obviously pretty good.
Yeah, in 2 turns, because he went to Haga Basin now. The bonus spice kind of works out in his favor in 2 turns, which is where he's probably going to be wanting to pick up some spice, because he's going to have both diplomacy effects in his next hand.
No, I can totally understand that. Anyway, so combat will resolve. Ilban just barreling the Fremen track here. Wow, taking the 3rd bump there immediately. A couple of spies for 100. This is interesting. So Ilban just completely saying, I'm locking up the Fremen Alliance. No one come anywhere near me. Is he maybe scared of Tezia and Baron here? He just feels Baron and Alliance, make it safe, and then kind of try and pick up the points elsewhere?
I think he's saying, I'm going to pick up the Mentat this round somehow, and then I'm going to get those Worm Riders.
Oh dear, there's been a problem here with Yellow's hand has managed to pull about like 9 different cards. This is a bit awkward.
Well, I hope he got what he wanted.
He hasn't pulled his power play, which he couldn't have done. We know what the 4 cards are, so this is all a little bit awkward here. Those should be on the top of the deck as well. He shouldn't have access to those currently.
Did he end up drawing a card? I'm not sure.
He ended up drawing twice. Those should be over there. So because he hasn't drawn any cards yet, so we're all good, everyone. Everything.
No, I meant last round.
No, he did not.
Yeah,
no, he went into mining, and that was it. Mining and tech negotiation, so didn't draw anything. Anyway, so second combat on hand. It is Siege of Carthage straight away, which is pretty tasty. And Baron's going to be after that. And so Tezia's going to go smuggling instead. So she's going to be looking just to cash in these the bumps immediately. Maybe knowing that Hardy Warriors is likely from Baron, so opting to stay away from this combat. I don't hate this.
So I actually love this play from Ivan here. Just locking up the Swordmaster for next round, staying away from this combat because he knows Baron really wants to drop his Master Stroke,
which he does. So that's going to barrel in here. But yeah, this is not the start that Baron particularly wanted. But you know, when you go into 3rd position, like you're going to get blocked somewhat. That's the way it goes. So we're going to see the extra bump here for the Fremen and the Spacing Guild. Maybe justify... Again, Ilban, I think, is very wary of the fact that there's 2 big Alliance players here. So again, just going to barrel the Fremen and just hope that if he can get to 4 or 5 points of that no one just bothers him and he just secures it, which I don't hate. And I can totally understand that.
Yeah, when you know 2 people are playing on those tracks, just looking straight at combat and picking up your standard 5 elsewhere.
Make our way to Hundro. So Hundro has both his diplomacy cards this time, wants to make use of them, but this isn't... It's not the prettiest looking time here. He might be considering selective breeding. I don't know why. I have a feeling he's going to hit selective breeding here and trash like his dagger. He'll want to go probably wealth first because he wants the money, but I have a funny feeling he's going to go selective breeding here. I just don't know why. You got the extra spice. I don't really feel like he's going to go Tex here right away. He is obviously going to be a bit concerned about pulling his power play, though, if he does make the draw, and that is a bit scary. You're fairly likely to see it again, and then it's obviously not doing a whole lot, but...
I mean, if Hundro goes Mentat here, take that 1 and 6. If you hit the power play, selective breeding starts feeling amazing, right?
It does. I feel like he got power play to hit fold space, though. If possible.
I mean, that's the dream.
But obviously, yeah, just hitting selective breeding, that's also not too bad. I don't hate it.
I'm curious why he didn't take fold space and why he took wealth.
Yeah, it was still available there. Didn't even bother. Maybe thinking you got Tesia and Baron to the right, so he's just never going to see much of it. It's possible. Anyway, so Tesia...
Yeah, you don't want to miss your turn.
No, I mean, I suppose not. It was interesting, but maybe maybe he's eyeing up trying to go mental. I'm not too sure. We'll see. We shall see. Anyway, so Tesia obviously cashes in shipping, as one would expect. Took the bump with the spacing, as you would expect here. So Baron probably... okay. So Baron's just gonna play fairly safe. He's gonna build up a 5th point here, so maybe eyeing up Sardaukar, perhaps? Don't totally hate this. Finds Cannon Turret, so another combat card for him, so... I mean... It's kind of interesting. He might even get some use out of Master Tactician to actually retreat some troops here, if no one else bothers to really make any particular challenge. 100 does know he's got Tactician, knows that could be in play here. See what the plan is. I mean, False Space is still there. Like, how do you... And there we go.
Yeah.
Takes it this time.
I am excited for Ilbin's turn here. I hope he takes this dagger to Mentat.
I mean, it's there to make. Like the money's there. Nah, decides against it. Just gonna lock in the alliance here. I mean, he probably would have done it so anyway. So just gonna take the water and call it a day here. I mean, I don't hate this, but obviously you got 4 persuasion, which isn't 5 at the moment. I think getting an extra persuasion point probably pretty useful here. Maybe even you get to 6 and find your way to Worm Riders turn 2 with the alliance immediately. That would have been huge.
I think if he had picked up Mentat, Worm Riders was guaranteed, and then you'll eventually just lock out your own alliance on the Fremen anyway. But in this regard, he did pick up the 2 water there, so he will have 5 spice available to him next round, which makes Highliner.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit of a curious way to go about it for Ilban, but I don't hate it. Like he's got a lot of potential here to kind of barrel in now.
Whoever takes Imperial Basin next round is getting a treat, though.
Oh yeah, I mean it's great for Tessia if it gets to her, but it seems difficult for it to manage there. We'll see how things are. Anyway, so Tessia revealing for 4. 4 just kind of an awkward number here. You know, you kind of want 5 or not quite that much. You know, you've only got you got Sardaukar at 5, Chani at 5. I think we could see a lot of liaisons getting bought pretty early this game. I've got a funny feeling.
I like the space travel buy here. You're always just looking for any kind of faction access with Tessia. You can get what you need.
It's 2 persuasion as well, which isn't bad.
And she's already most of the way down that alliance track, so why not?
But no, I figure it's just going to take the liaison. Going to take 2, I have a feeling. Yeah, and does decide to do so. Just kind of doesn't want to show a stronger card, I guess, to the opposition.
Yeah, it does feel scary to make the row better for 3 other people.
Baron in the exact same spot here. He has 5. He has 5, yeah, because of the technical negotiation. So, I mean, Sardaukar he's probably taking. I feel like Chani might be maybe better, but I have a feeling like Sardaukar just feels pretty good. He wants to eventually do a lot of shipping and just use Sardaukar to get those troops out kind of for free. But even just using that and hitting well for using up the Faithia ring is not the worst thing in the world. But does go for Chani. So does go down this path here. Appropriate the next card out. That's a pretty tasty card here. Potentially for Hundro here. That looks really, really good for him. Really nice. He can't get it yet.
Isn't anything left for Ilbin, though.
No, Ilban's got 4, and it feels kind of not great. Does he maybe consider just going Spice Hunter and Liaison with the intention of picking up Worm Riders later?
I don't think you can justify picking up Spice Hunter. Not with Ilbin.
It's not a good card for him. I readily accept that.
If he had artillery, sure, but I think here you just take one liaison and you go, hey, it's got green access. I do green things.
And call it a day.
Yeah, we'll try again next round.
Considering 2, perhaps. He's going to get a pretty nice cheap second place, which is good. Taking the spice and the intrigue. Baron will take Carfag, which is going to be good. That's going to generate him a lot of cash over the course of this run. No doubt about that. So that's his ring fairly well taken care of.
I think this round, the only way it could have worked out better for Baron is if it had been on Imperial Basin.
Pretty much. So he does take Spice Hunter, so he's definitely eyeing up that Fremen Bond. Truthsayer comes out on the road. It's a really solid card. Do like Truthsayer. A lot of fun. I play a lot of pools, so it's better for me than a lot of people, I suppose. But I do enjoy Truthsayer. Lots of nice access, fairly cheap. Ilban will take the second place here. Baron will take the combat down. And we will move on to the next round here. It's going to be weird to see what Baron's plan is sort of mid-game, though. The 2 normal factions that he would tend to barrel, those alliances are already basically taken here, which is pretty insane when you think about it.
I mean, I think it's fine. It does lend credence to your suggestion of the Sardaukar Legion, because he could have switched over and just ran Emperor down. But Baron, he just tends to find a way. It kind of depends, I think, on what his next couple of intrigues are. If he can find an endgame intrigue to start working towards, then that'll really shape him up.
I think it's a good shout. Needs some direction here. At the moment, it's kind of like, what's he really doing? He's going to be first active. Guild Bank Raid is the next one. This is actually pretty decent here for a lot of players. Solari's pretty low apart from Tezius, so... But Tezius is the one with the troops and can look to really try and shut down the Solari here and just kind of keep things awkward for the opponents. And I think she should look to do so. Just really try and starve them with cash.
Absolutely.
Baron picks up Signet Ring and want to make some use out of that. Bit of an awkward opening here, but I mean, Imperial Basin's right there. Feels hard not to go there, and you kind of suss it from there, perhaps. Hundro, fantastic result for him, though. Hundro finds power play, and Fold Space is going to be open to him. So he also has Space Travel, so you don't have to use it on that. So this is actually really good for Hundro as a setup turn. He's going to be really pleased to see the Baron does not find their way to Fold Space. Perhaps a little bit upset not to see Diplomacy, but it's a coin flip on your reroll whether you're going to find it if you use Seek Ally straight away. So
I think Hundro here is absolutely thrilled to get the space travel and the power play.
Yeah, great.
Being able to hit up selective breeding with that power play. Maybe you don't ditch your dagger because you have artillery, but maybe you do anyway.
Yeah,
either way,
it's tricky. I mean, I would be totally fine just getting rid of like one of the Dune Desert planets. Like, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
You've got your ring. You're looking at Appropriate as well, preferably at some point. You want to take that, and obviously that's got access there as well. So I think losing a Dune is not the end of the world here. He
could also just straight threaten that Guild Alliance.
Yeah, I mean that's also possible, and he might do so. Like if he what's this?
He might be.
Whoa! This is dangerous. Wow, just not even concerned. Oh, he's gonna look to take. He's gonna threaten Swordmaster here, and then look to Fold Space afterwards. What's going on?
I mean,
here?
Tessia has the money now. I mean, getting set up is fine, but you're hoping nobody else takes Fold Space like the Baron.
Yeah, what's going on here? Is he like trying to go maybe Mentats? This feels really weird. Why not just risking this? This feels very dangerous.
He's risking missing his turn at shipping.
Ilban, by the way, takes the spice, has Allied Armada, and it's active on round 3, which is absurd, by the way. I don't think I've ever seen Allied Armada in someone's hand and active at turn 3. I've never seen that in my life. Ilban as well, surely prepping up Ultimate Engine as well. Looks really, really good for him here. So, Tessia taking the Signet Ring, does not decide to use the Influence, which is not unreasonable. If she knew what was about to happen, maybe she would remotely consider ditching, but there's no way she's ever going to do it in advance. Back to the Baron here, who did not use his Signet Ring to take the spice, so is Baron thinking Mentat here?
I don't think I Mentat here with Baron, not with Signet in hand.
No, it doesn't feel good, but then it's kind of what do you do? Do you just hit Carfag?
I think you hit Carthag, and with his intrigues as they currently stand, I think you pay and you draw both, and you see what you can shake out.
Yeah,
You
I
dare
think, and
you
of
dare
course,
someone to go secrets.
yeah, and you're getting your money back for free as well with Carthag. But no, it's going to draw cards here, so maybe eyeing up the rogue hit. Wow, finds convincing. That's a huge pull. That's a real big find to get to 5 there. So Sardaukar is available, appropriates there as well. It's bad news for Hundro. Would really have liked that. Gets it in. So it's going to draw. I guess was really concerned about drawing 2 intrigues and it getting stolen. But anyone going secrets this early, unlikely. But decided to do so. Finds tiebreaker, which feels kind of meh.
At this point, if you're Baron, I honestly don't know what you do here.
Yeah.
You're not getting your Sword Master next round.
Yeah, it's we'll see. So Hundro Moritani is going to save his power play for later. He's not going to use it yet. He's going to hang on to it and use it as kind of like and threaten it as a weapon for later. Interesting. Pulls his Fold Space with Space Travel. That feels bad. Feels really bad.
That's why you Space Travel first. See what else you get.
Yeah.
Although Fold Space isn't that much better, because if you play that in your second action this round, you risk giving up your Signet.
Yeah, I mean, feels bad. Well, he's drawn it, so he's wanting to keep it the next turn, but so be it. It's the way it goes. Ilban up next. So Ilban surely making his way up to Holtzman Engine. Seems the play. He's going to have 7 Persuasion on hand, which is really good. Oh, is he going to go Dreadnought? I was wondering if he might, and he is going to for the extra card draw. All right, then. So Ilban's getting ready to rock and roll this game. Absolutely.
I'm always excited for Ilban.
I was kind of looking at Technogation. I was like, is he maybe going Dreadnoughts? He has 3 Solari. I didn't hate it. Man, so Ilban, is... this is very fascinating. This is very non-standard play, this. Just barreling the Alliance and then, I guess, just making lots of threats. He's got an Armada, so he's just hoping for a lot of combat VPs. He's going to try and just get stuck in. He has enough for Worm Riders as well, and I don't see anyone getting in the way of that. So Ilban is getting ready to go to town here.
He gets the rest of his deck next round with the Holtzman, and he can already start planning.
Yeah, his Diplomacy is coming next round, so this is a nice start for Ilban. Into sell it for Tezzy, as you'd expect. Baron revealing for 5. I feel like Baron kind of should probably be going appropriate. I imagine will go appropriate here. I think it's a better card than Sardaukar, just to deny it from other people. The shipping bump's nice as well. It's to reveal, even if you don't play it. Feels pretty nice. And does take it in the end. Can't be bad. And if you can try... Oh, he's going to just take the cash now. Interesting.
Don't like that one. Gotta be honest.
Would have liked to say that up. But I guess his argument is he's taking cash from here, so he's going to look to basically make... he's assuming Hundro's going to Interstellar, so he's going to get his Sword Master. That's what he's intending here.
I mean, I guess Baron does have Diplomacy coming up. He says, I'm picked up Appropriate. I want to hit up that Emperor track anyway. I'll hit my 8 with the Wealth, and maybe Hundro whiffs on greens. Now, Hundro's not going to whiff on greens with his Signet.
Oh, no. Well, Baron's going to get Swordmaster straight away, because it's Guild Bank Raid, so he doesn't need to hit Wealth. Oh, but I mean, later on he will do. Yes, you are correct.
Yep.
I do apologize. So there's Worm Riders for Ilban. That's pretty scary. That is very scary for a lot of people here. There's a ton of comp potential for Ilban here. Tezzy is going... She's got one more. I would just be hitting Wealth here, get the Intrigue. Seems totally fine. No. Change of plans.
I don't like this one at all.
Oh, she's saying, well, let's go Carfax. She's under this kind of try and starve everyone of... try and starve people of Solari here. Yeah, I mean, as it comes out, this is probably not going to work as nice. Baron's going to is going to use some of these intrigues here.
I think Tessie just made the situation worse for herself, too. Handing a Baron a free dollar like that when you had absolutely no reason to.
Yeah, like he wants that money. Well, it would have been a good time just to abuse it and call it a day, but deciding to get stuck in here wants some money. Takes Truthsayer for free. And
those 2 options, though. So in this position, if you're considering, trying to stack up against a Baron with 3 intrigues like that, you have to be thinking, what if I only take second? At that point, with Imperial Spy as your only other option, you could have gotten that same intrigue card by going up to wealth. And you're paying 3 troops right now on the hope that you're getting 4 additional Solari. And what's going to happen here is you're only going to get 2. 3 troops for 2 Solari is a terrible deal, especially when you hand an extra 1 to your strongest faction opponent.
Interesting to note that Baron decides to use Tiebreaker to tie rather than taking outright. More happy just to deny Tesia. Ilban content just to take the 2 cash, so it'll be 4 apiece for Tesia and Baron there. Bit of a weird combat, I guess.
I like the tie there.
Yeah, I think rather than the tacticians, like just to secure. I mean, you can go either way. I think either is fine.
I think if he plays tactician and then gets overshot, then he's taking second for nothing. Whereas
he's concerned that Tesia's got something. It's a bit of a weird combat to like go in there, I guess. So I can understand that being a potential there. So
this combat is an absolute banger, though.
Wow,
this will be very
machinations. Tesia Vernius is licking her lips in glee here. What a spot for her! Absolutely delicious. This has got to be one of probably her best combat in the game, outside of combat freeze. That is so huge, those influence bumps. But you have to wait for now. So Hunter's going to be up first. Signet Ring going to take the... Oh, and he does! Wow, look at this. He decides to give up the Interstellar, taking the Swordmaster instead. I can't say I like that. You could just go Mentat and call it a day. I guess he's concerned that he doesn't get it now. It's going to be a while until he does get it, but Interstellar's right there. That's a bit gutsy to just turn that down. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that.
It's interesting to me to see if Tesia picks up the combat tech up there then. Restricted Ordnance.
Restricted Ordnance
looks really, really nice for her.
Yeah, it looks decent. They're all pretty good techs for her, to be fair. Sonic Supers isn't the worst.
Nobody else can take the High Council this round except Baron, and he doesn't want to give up Swordmaster money, so...
No. So, and she has her free actions already, so she could well go that High Council with her dagger and then get troops back into combat. Like, she's going to have all sorts of options here.
I like Smuggling, then Hardy Warriors if available, then High Council. I think that's a great rundown.
Let's see how we go. Ilban's going to be up first. Ilban's going Hardy Warriors again here, so he is just absolutely getting stuck in. He is not afraid. This is pretty bold play here. Just getting in. I guess he reckons if he loses and doesn't get first, he gets his water back, and he's charging a price here for Tesia. So just trying to put the pressure on. This is pretty aggressive stuff, but I do like it.
It does keep High Council away from Tesia if she wants to win this combat.
Yeah, makes this awkward now. Makes it a little bit awkward. And of course, he does have an Armada in his back pocket as well, which is going to be a pretty... I imagine he will consider using Allied Armada if he has to in this combat. I'm fairly convinced. So Tesia up first. Tesia has Fold Space and Diplomacy, but we'll be going Interstellar first.
Either that or Spice. It's hard to turn down for Spice, but I think Interstellar's the play.
Interstellar's got to be. If Hunter's going to turn it down, you feel kind of obliged to get stuck in here. So up and down It is taking techs. I think she's going Hollow Projectors, although Restrictive Ordnance would be really fun to see. Takes the Spice, which makes sense. Obviously the troops. What tech do you take here?
I actually like Sonic Snoopers here. When you can play out your Snooper tokens over on the Benny track with Sonic Snoopers, you can really crank through some stuff there.
That does go for Restricted Ordnance, so people arming up here. This is going to be a pretty combat-heavy game here. The last game on the channel was it was cagey stuff, and people were kind of just finding their way through, but here, there is statements of intent. Do like it. All right,
Baron has to take this.
Baron's got to take it. He's got Guild Administrator. Like, it would be... Oh, no, he's going to secure his... He's going to go full space to get his point. Oh, wow.
That was an...
Ooh, I mean, I can get it. I can understand, but he could well have, like, gone... used Chani to do it. Or
I think you Chani to Haga, and then you Highliner for your point.
Yeah. I think that's a good
diplomacy
shout.
in hand.
That's a good shout as well.
On it, the best would be Guild Administrator to Spice, Diplomacy to Highliner, and then you can run your troops back with Chani if you overpaid.
Yeah. Dune Desert Planet was removed there to note. But yeah, no, I think I actually like that. Yeah, getting that second bump with as Highliner feels much nicer than going Fold Space. Tech Negotiation for Hundro. Is he going to go Minimic? He does. I don't know how much use it's going to be to him in the long run, but I guess he'd rather have it than not.
You never hate it.
No, it's never too bad. Might find his way to a Spice's Foe later on, and if so, it's good use of some spice.
He's definitely looking for an Ixion Engineer, though.
Ilban declining Mentat again here. He's just going to go smuggling and take the extra Solari. I feel like Ilban really should be trying to make more aggressive use out of Mentat here. Maybe he's a bit concerned about like cycling through his deck here a little bit and not seeing as much use out of Diplomacy in his ring, but I mean, it's there for you. You know, you're drawing 2 cards. It's cheap for you as well because you have your ring. It feels kind of...
Well, he can get an extra card if he wants to take High Council this round. If he's ambivalent about actually following up on this combat.
Maybe that's why he did it. Maybe that's if he's taking the cash, it feels like he's threatening High Council. He's basically telling Tezzy, if you want it, you've got to take it now.
But then again, with the Spice reveal off of Spice Hunter, nobody is expecting this Allied Armada. So he has the combat in the bag.
No. By the way, this Spice and Hangar Basin is still sitting there. And Tezzy's got to be looking at this and thinking, how do I not take this?
Yeah, absolutely. You take it, you throw 2 troops in. Worst case scenario, you get your water back at this point.
Yeah, I think so. It seems kind of criminal to leave it be, and she does indeed deserve to do so. I mean, it sat there for probably a lot longer than it had any right to do, but she'll be happy to take the spice and get troops in. Finds a liaison, so that's not too bad. You can go with the troops. She'll get a couple here.
Yeah, she's going to run up against this Allied Armada, but, you know, if High Council rolls back around to her, she can take it.
Well, I mean,
feel terrible.
yeah, definitely.
Doesn't feel terrible to force something out of Ilban's hand.
And to be fair, like, if he plays Allied Armada now, that's out the game, and he can't do that later on. And if it gets to like double VPs, like you're happier to take the hit now than when there's 2 combat victory points, and if that might make the change there. And also, he's got Holtzman, so maybe Ilban's looking to go combat heavy early, and then late game he might just abandon it entirely and just let everyone else fight it out and just try and get Spice's flows and get over the line that way. Maybe that's the plan.
I think he's gonna dagger on up to the High Council when he gets a chance. It's gonna feel good. But you know, even if Tessie does pick up High Council with her Swordmaster action, those 2 daggers out of Ilban are going to push her out of contention for this combat. Unless she does something weird with Poison Snooper. I don't know. She's got a dagger.
Baron eyeing up Selective Breeding. Doesn't feel too bad when you've got all your cards to do from, but he's just going to take the cash. I think this is as good a chance as any to Selective Breed here. You want to do it perhaps now, but no, just opts for Secrets. Finds Infiltrate. It's a good card for Baron. It's a really good card for him. That'll be useful to get some shipping later on here. So that's a nice find for him. Hundro gonna throw his Diplomacy out here. Probably Steel Suits. Or is he gonna go Wealth and did he pick up Appropriate? He did not, did he? So he has 5 to buy though. So there's a lot of half decent cards for him to take here. He's just going to take the cash.
Has to Appropriate, and it's going to kind of languish if he doesn't actually go up to Wealth at some point.
So there's the spice for Ilban. Ilban's going to have 5 to buy. So Sardaukar looks not bad for him at all. Looks pretty decent. I'd probably be taking that. The Negotiator Draw, though, is such a good card. I mean, that can't feel bad. Eva's fine. I guess Negotiator's probably better.
With Draw feeds both of his plans. With Worm Riders, he is threatening in combat and can play towards that. But if it doesn't work out his way, he can back him off. Plus, it reveals for 2, which feeds his Holtzman.
Yeah, which is good. And also, for that matter, Negotiated basically, like, it's treating the 3 troops, you still get them with the swords. If he has that with Worm Riders, he's basically sword neutral and gets a bump. That's pretty good. So he's going to take Negotiated and call that a day. Tezia up here. So Tezia has to make a call here. Whether is she going to get kind of drawn into this here? It feels really tempting to get these troops in. You could go... I mean, even just going Still Suits here, put the 2 troops in, and take the dagger and tying doesn't feel the worst.
If this was the last conflict 2, I would withhold troops and go into conflict 3 a little bit better position than other people.
She'll go for the high counter then. So she's gonna tie up. She's gonna tie up here, Ilban.
It won't tie. It'll be 1 short actually.
Oh, of course, she uses a dagger. So she's maybe hoping to find that. Yeah, maybe that's. I mean, yeah, diplomacy. Put the troops in and just tie it that way. I guess. I mean, we'll see how happens. She's got poison snooper, so she might draw into something useful. We'll see. Court entry taken by Baron reveals the big firm grip card. Hundro Moritani will be very, very happy to see that. That's a huge draw for him. Reverend Motherheim also on the deck here as well. Very strong card. There's not really been any Bene Gesserits out, though, so its use is going to be pretty limited action-wise.
I believe Ilban has a Benny. I think he has a Bene Gesserit sister.
Yes, there was a one Bene Gesserit sister. You are correct, but his deck is already huge.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure I like the Sardaukar pickup from Baron there.
Oh, he takes Sardaukar. He does indeed.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well,
I could see it from Hundro just because of artillery.
Yeah. So, Farm Grip taken. Other cards turning up here. Duncan, Idaho. Water Peddler turn up. Tezzy's got 7 to buy with here.
Mahayam Water Peddler. Roll it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel the worst. She's got 13 cards in hand. Considering Poison Snooper here to see what the next card is, I think this is not a bad shout to do it and see what you get. Wow, that finds the liaison, so finds it for 9. So it's just gonna buy the point.
I don't like that one.
I
think the passive spice income off of Mahayam is
probably better than the victory point. It's round 4. It's early-ish, I guess. So, well, Ilban's going to take this combat down without spending Allied Armada, so he'll be very thrilled by this.
Not to mention just the faction access off of Mahayam. If you're Tessia, she hasn't really picked up a whole lot. Did she get a Truthsayer? Who got the Truthsayer?
I don't recall. Do not recall. We shall see. Anyway, so Ilban's going to win this one, so he needs to make sure to put the Dreadnought somewhere as well.
I mean, it's Imperial base on 100% here.
I mean, yes, but I mean, sometimes they might think, we'll flag on Carfag, block Carfag, and that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. People see flag, people block flag.
I think you have to lock up your Fremen here, though. Tessia's sitting on that one. You don't want her to pop up to 3 right behind you.
I think he feels he works on he can just hit one of the spaces and call it a day.
I don't know. Just today playing Tessia, I went from 0 to locked out in the Fremen track.
It can happen.
In
can
one
happen.
action.
Crazy things can happen, but she's got no double bumps and she's got no intrigue, so it's probably a bit safe at the moment. We'll see how we go. So it is round 5. Arakeen is up next. So mainly the victory point people are fighting for here. The slides won't be too good. Ilban finds Worm Riders are negotiated, but outside of that, not a lot else going on here. Kind of not a very good hand. This feels like Mentat with the dagger feels pretty good here. Gives you some extra time, gives you a couple of cards to draw, gives you some extra options. It doesn't feel too bad here.
Tessia is somewhat locked out.
Oh, yeah.
Might see her hit up that Dreadnought, spend some of that cash she's sitting on.
Yeah.
And then slam the city.
Ilban's
slam
just
the
gonna
city, tax people.
Ilban's just gonna smuggle. Is he just gonna take the cash here for his Swordmaster? It looks like he is gonna just take his Swordmaster here. But I mean, Baron is right there and is likely to get there first. So I guess he's always got Mentat to fall back on. I don't particularly like.
Does he? Does he have Mentat? So if I'm Tessie here with this hand.
Yeah,
I'm spending my dagger on that Mentat.
That's why I kind of don't like it. Well, she's got to go Interstellar, I guess. So hit there first. It's gonna drop the alliance, and now it's gonna start making progress elsewhere, thinking that she's fairly secure of it, which she probably is for now. But Hundro does have power play. She's got to be wary of this. Hundro could have that at any point here. So this is dangerous ground Tessie is playing here. She's got to be careful.
I don't know if it's that dangerous. If she saves her Emperor track for her last snooper, that feels good in
Oh yeah,
combat.
definitely get the troops in. They're always the way
Yep.
you want to go, preferably. I like trying to hit Emperors like the 4th track, get those 2 troops in, use it with a city, and get them in. That always feels pretty nice. It's basically effectively a bonus Secret Forces intrigue. Feels
Yeah.
pretty nice.
With both Bene Gesserit track and the Emperor track not being super contested or anything like that, I would feel pretty comfortable in securing at least one of those alliances as Tessia.
Yeah,
And I think she has that Truthsayer, which makes it easier either way.
So Hundro's just going to take a couple of spies here. Going to protect his Signet Ring and Fold Space for later here, which isn't the worst. Perhaps I was expecting to get to Smuggling and then Signet Ring to get troops into combat, but he's not going to be able to do so. Puts in the troop now, which is...
I wonder what he wants 2 Solari for. You can't expect any more than 2 Solari.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like putting in the troop here. There generally feels like when people do that, it feels like they're not going to put in any more combat at all. They're going to look to like hit just factions and not actually fight it. So I've got to put in the troop now while I still can. I feel that's what's going on here. Here's the Mentat from Ilban, as we mentioned. He has a bucket ton of influence here. He's doing the maths. He's got 8. He's not there for Spice Flow. He is 1 short. He does need to start hitting Spice Flows soon. You're all right. Here comes Dreadnought. So Tessia throws it in. She going disposal?
Hollow projectors. It has to be hollow projectors.
I think I agree here. I'm not a big fan of disposal. I think it's a bit late for that.
Sonic Supers is fine too.
But she has no intrigues. It's like, it feels like you're losing value there.
Oh, she's gonna have some intrigues.
She will do by the end of the day, but she's not there yet. But disposal facility is going to get rid of the dagger here. So, okay, training drones.
Not the biggest fan.
Yeah, training drones is the next tech. I don't think anyone's going to buy that, but you never know. Appropriate is out, although it's not active.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, if Baron had thrown in 1 troop, I mean, that Solari is as good as Spice for appropriate, right? I don't know what Hundro's doing.
We shall see. So Baron's up next. Baron's got loads of faction access. What does he want to be doing here? It feels awkward. Like, I mean, selective breeding, I guess. Get rid of your dagger. Maybe there's worlds where you draw enough to buy Sparta's Flow here, perhaps?
I mean, you want in on this combat for the mediocre-ish combat intrigues, plus someone just picked up a Dreadnought who is going to go into this combat. This is the place you pick up your point. So if it was me, Carthag, you give Ilban $1, you call it a day.
It does have a load of course, it does have cannon turrets, and that is going to upset Tessie. So maybe there is argument for going in. Maybe even like a Hardy Warriors, and if she just absolutely barrels in, worst come worst, you have got Charney, and you can okay, I'll hold back. But no, so let's
hate Hardy Warriors here, though. Warriors is a waste.
It's speculative. I really accept that, but does decide to just trash the dagger with selective and get a couple more here. Wow, it does have 9. Wow, that's an interesting spot for Baron. Do you just... Wow, that feels kind of weird now.
I reveal.
I think revealing for the point can't be bad here. Gonna do some...
You don't have to fight for it.
No,
you don't have to fight for it.
Point to point, yeah. It doesn't feel too bad. Gets you up to 6, which feels pretty good. Hundro up next. Fold Space is going to be coming in here. I don't quite know what he's going to do with it. I think he was also looking to go selective breeding, but it's been denied here, so...
I like secrets here for Hundra. Secrets with quid pro quo available feels okay. Ooh. I don't like Arakeen with a fold space.
Yeah, going for the double card draw, I guess, but you could just use the ring there and call it a day. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this.
I'm curious what he was hoping to draw.
Yeah, well, he
does get another card.
Does get another, so there's this convincing. Yeah, I mean, I hate using fold spaces to hit non-faction places. I try and avoid it wherever possible because I just feel like I know I play a lot of alliance heavy games and that's a thing. But that feels really horrible to use when I use fold space to smuggle and I see that, it just makes me cry inside. So Ilban's gonna make his way to Carthag, finds his way to Charm Shares. That is nice. Oh yeah. So Red doesn't feel the happiest. We'll see how we go here. I don't know.
Red is locked out of this combat, isn't she?
Yeah. She has been completely locked out. What a disaster!
Yeah,
Wow.
Reveal for 7. Pick up Mahayam.
Yeah. Feels bad. Feels bad. I guess that if you were concerned, you should have just got them in and called it a day. But yeah, restrictive ordnance doing nothing. Those garrison troops doing nothing. Get to Mahayam. It's more.
So I didn't really.
And
I
he's
didn't
gonna get the peddler, but it's a consolation, really.
Was not thrilled about that interstellar shipping play as the opening action. I think Mentat would have served her far better, or picking up hollow projectors instead of the sonic snoopers.
So Ilban here is going to be able to win this combat pretty comfortably, and once again is going to have Aladamar just sitting in the back pocket. This is a great spot for Ilban here. It feels really nice.
I don't feel bad if I'm Hundra though.
I mean, Hundra is like, I feel like I feel better. I mean, I guess. I mean, it's you don't feel like you're out the game. Like, I mean, you sit here. I feel like everyone's got a shout for this at the moment, but yeah, there's some unfortunate. But yeah, Ivan there just the Carthag losing the cities there, obviously kind of bad. But then I guess like you don't expect Hundro to go Arakeen like that. I guess that was kind of left field. So maybe Ivan's just a bit unlucky here. The fact that that Hundro also went Arakeen.
I think picking up those training drones if you're Hundro
Ivan's saying should have bought hollow projectors. I hate to say, Ivan, we may have called that. Sorry, carry on.
It was a gamble. But yeah, if I'm Hundro, sign it up to Tech Negotiator. You pick up your training drones or hollow projectors. Either one is pretty valid, I think, at this point. And you just bump up on that shipping track a little bit.
Yep. Baron does straight reveal for the point, as we suggested he might do. Seems totally fine. Can't hate it.
I like it.
Yeah,
Good
can't
move.
hate it. Point to point, you take it, you run with it. So Hundro's going to be up here. So Hundro probably feels like Hundro kind of feels like they've got to like try and. I mean, there is no way for them to really get involved here. They're gonna have to just set with 4 Solari. Wow. Okay. So go in High Council instead.
I don't like it. His influence in his deck is not high enough to make use of it.
I mean, he's got
reliably.
Mimic as well, so he only has 6 in his hand.
It's tough.
It is tough. Yeah, I do agree. Like you got no potential of like going research station or something. Maybe he's like thinking there's worlds he can like dagger up to tech negotiate and only like 5. Maybe I don't know. I can understand doing it. But I don't hate it.
It kind of locks him into picking up Duncan here, though, I think.
Yeah.
Which is also just really odd with High Council.
So here comes Ilban. So Ilban's got 7 swords minimum, which will be enough. He's going to have probably 7 to buy. It's not the best board for having 7 to buy.
I mean, that Death Commando is looking mighty enticing.
Yeah, I mean, throwing bombs good. Jamis is there as well. That feels pretty nice. I mean, if you get
he doesn't have the water to support Jamis at this point.
Yeah, I would take in Duncan here, though. Duncan just feels so good. I mean, I absolutely love Duncan. It's such a great reveal. The water and 2 swords. Like that's
he's still looking to try to pick up a couple Spice Must Flow.
Yeah, this is
gonna
true.
Get that High Council.
This is true, but his deck is like really tending towards combat here, and the problem is there's no 2 persuasions out there outside of just buying the Azons.
I think the Death Commando is a perfectly acceptable second choice, and that would have left him with enough to pick up that.
Oh, wow! Look at that.
Yeah.
Reverend Mahava turns. If he'd have picked up like Federikin, he could have taken the seat to Reverend Mother. It turns out that would have been massive. But,
or I was thinking more Web of Power, but I wouldn't turn that
Web
one
of
down
Power,
either.
yeah. But either way, he takes an Azon and Sardaukar Legion in the end. So that is that. Hundro's going to have 7 to buy. He's going to have 8 to buy here. So, does he take Reverend Mother behind him?
He doesn't have any other friends, I don't think. He may have one liaison.
I mean, he's got the chance to buy some now if he wanted.
Does need both of those tracks, so the faction access is really nice.
Jamis also feels good. He's got no persuasion there yet, so he's fairly likely to get that point before all is said and done.
He could take both.
Yeah, no harm in taking both. He's got 8 to play with.
Spice
smuggling.
I would not have taken spice smuggling.
Quizaz Haderach turns up on the board here. Wow. I mean, it's still only going up to round 6. I mean, Haderach still got used. Takes Duncan, which I don't hate, and then Jamis, which seems also fine. But spice smuggling. Oh, interesting. Maybe there's some last-minute thoughts here against Tesia.
That engineer is hot for Hundra, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That looks pretty good. Nice turn up there. So, Ilban wins another combat with Allied Armada still in the back pocket. Absolutely buzzing here. 4 Solari for Hundro's not the worst. And maybe Tesia's glad that she didn't put all these troops in, seeing all the swords that Ilban turned up with, so...
Well, with all those swords that Hundro just bought, that 4 Solari turns into a very nice-looking Dreadnought, especially if he can get a spice beforehand off of that shipping track to pick up training drones to go along with. Hundro may just sneak out a good combat if Ilban decides to skip one.
Which is possible. So, wow, okay, so final 4. So all 3 flags are going to get put down here. Imperial Basin also turns up here, so everywhere's going to have a flag on it.
I love a power play for Hundro. I love
power
it going
plays
into
there.
Selective breeding.
Yeah, that's there. Tessie's going to go first. Tessie feels surely going to feel like she's got to re-secure her alliance here. Maybe she's forgotten that power play's out there. Like, you know, you see power play taken, and usually gets played almost immediately in the next round, and he didn't. He declined to, so... Maybe
Tessia gets to have it all this round, doesn't she? She gets to hit up that smuggling, pick up Sonic Snoopers. She gets the Imperial Spy out of her hand this round, and she's the only one who can pick up 5 spice just sitting on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, feels pretty good.
That gives her the option later on, next combat, the one after. You know, she is wide available to both take that alliance back on the guild track and get a maximum number of troops in.
Yeah,
with a Dreadnought to boot.
In there, yeah, this feels good. Don't know whether she's going to go that way. So goes for Holo Projectors this time instead.
I like that too.
Yeah, maybe should have done it earlier, but I guess gets it now. So trying to make some amends. Maybe feels
It gets the Spice Must Flow.
Yeah, that's probably why. See Spice Must Flow feels let's get it out of the hand. Makes sense. So we're going to take that. Again, I feel like she's probably got to re-secure this alliance and does.
All right, full of options. What do you do as Baron here?
Hold on, did she take the did she take resources?
She took 2 spice, I believe. Because she had...
I don't think she did. She spent the -1 for that for Holo Objectives, but I don't think she took any of this.
Yeah, you may be right. I don't see it in the log. Does the smuggling spice pop into the log?
Apparently. Well, they said apparently it's in the log, so they see it. I haven't scrolled up far enough, so okay. Just making sure. Again, we're not here to police the games.
No, it was the first thing.
We're not here to police the games, but like it's a convenience. If we think something's not quite right, we can see it. So just ask the question. No harm in that.
If I was Baron there, I'll tell you what I do. I hit that Mentat as hard as I can.
Yeah. Oh, Baron just barreled to wealth. What did he even use for that?
Does he have an appropriate?
Oh, he must use fold space to do it. I wasn't looking. Appropriate's in the discard. He just bought spice of it, so not immediately. Yeah. Here's the power play from Hundro. Where's it going? Surely it's It's selective. Yeah, it does go selective. Makes sense.
I'm wondering why Baron went to wealth instead of hitting up Haga Basin and then using his court intrigue on secrets.
That would have felt better. Yeah, it's kind of court intrigue's now not really doing anything. This is a good point.
If you're not going to spend the spice on anything else, you don't need it for tech because you have appropriate. You're not super combat focused. He might want to
maybe he did it as maybe he did it feeling like perhaps got to stop Hundro getting a possible power play to Wealth just to stop him getting his firm grip active, I guess. But then you can still just use your cool intrigue to do it, I guess. Either way.
Yeah,
Not
it's
not a huge deal.
Does he like 2 water here?
We'll see. Hundro, Ilban finds Bypass Protocol pretty nice, actually. There's some decent cards out there just to pick up. Federkin, G Manipulation. There's some not bad stuff out there. I feel could be worse. His hand's kind of a bit out there, but
can we talk about those Chome chairs?
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Tesia is going to feel pretty sad that Wealth went straight away, so Imperial Spy is going to sit around for another round. So Tesia's just going to use... she can use a Truth... Oh, yes, she might as well use it. She's using a Truthsayer to go to Mentat because it can't go anywhere. Everything else has been taken immediately, which is kind of crazy. So, it's going to Psych out Spice's Flow. Finds Liaison, so that'll feel not too bad.
It's just she needs to. As long as she ends this round somehow with the 8 spice that she is entitled to, I think she's going to feel pretty good.
And I don't see any way. There's no way anyone else is getting that beforehand. So no one's got the bonus water intrigue, so that's not under threat here. But it's just trying to work out what people's plans are towards the back end of the game here. Ilban is kind of got a bit of everything going on. I think Ilban feels like favorite here in this game. I feel like he feels like he's the most set up to try and profit some way or another out of the rest of this game. He still hasn't even got 2 of his alliance, his faction VPs, and he's sitting at 5, which is a pretty good place to be.
It's nice, but he also has no water. And that water is going to come back and hurt here very shortly. So that alliance intrigue card, it's great. But if you don't have troops backing you up, you don't have shipping access, you don't have the spice to go pick up troops off the Emperor track, how many more combats can you reasonably take? And on the flip side, with no water, not having access to research station makes your Holtzman engine harder to get your point.
Yeah, that's the thing. He needs to try and find 2 spies. And I can see him getting 1, but getting 2 is tough. Baron goes to Siege here, I guess, just trying to threaten Tesia a little bit. But Hundro just goes to Steel Suits to take the point, or to try and get towards taking the point. Ilban Mentat seems, or goes Swordmaster even. I apologize.
Yeah. That's why I love Ilban so much. Even if you get a late Sword Master, you get a card out of it. It doesn't feel terrible.
Yeah, not too bad. Oh, he's at 8. He's at 8 persuasion. Feels kind of iffy that. He'll be a bit unhappy there.
His average in the deck is pretty high. Could go Signet to Arakeen, take a swing at it.
Yeah.
Drop that Dreadnought in, get a water at least.
Could even consider, here's an option. You could even go Arakeen, but use Bypass to pick up G Manipulation first and guarantee it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel too bad. G Manipulation is still a good card.
It's hard to justify paying the 2 spice to do it, but
yeah, but if a
point is a point.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. You're not taking a chance. You just pay 2 spice, you get the victory point for absolute sure. Or do you not pay it and take a coin flip?
It just feels really, really bad to turn off your allied armada. And he does have the Spice Hunter in the deck, so he.
Yeah, but he's going to be able to pick up.
Yeah,
he's going to be able to pick up that second spice somewhere or another. I don't think that's in particular danger here.
It just feels terrible to do.
Baron's going to infiltrate. He's going to
smuggling.
He's going to infiltrate Interstellar. He didn't do this earlier, to be fair. He kind of held fire on this for a little bit. Didn't do it straight away. So he's going to do it now to get set up for next turn. Finds more combat intrigues. Wow. Baron's only got 1 troop here, but he's got 4 swords, and he's got a load of combat intrigues to start playing around with. So,
if Ilban stays out, or if Ilban spends his spice, this combat point might be a gift to the Baron.
Might be. Ilban's going to throw in his Dreadnought for sure. I feel like Tesia is also going to throw in the Dreadnought, so Baron might steal this out of absolutely nowhere, which would be pretty amazing. Here comes Firm Grip for Hundro, turn tech negotiation, which I guess is fine.
these cannon turrets are gonna make it's gonna make Ilbin cry for sure.
Oh yeah, he's going to be. He
and
especially needs that
Tessia
wall as
can't
well.
stand up against all of the other swords.
Yeah, Tessie's going to get kind of a surprise here. She's going to be kind of unlucky, to be fair. She's
I
going to
mean,
be kind of unlucky.
Baron can hit up to 14 combat power off of one troop in this combat.
Yeah.
Tessia can't do it.
That's pretty badass, and she's going to lose some anyway. So we'll see how much Tessia decides to put in here. She's going to feel she's not going to put in heavy here because she's going to feel like she's well in front. She's not going to see this coming. And again, the problem is Tessia has no intrigues, so this means that Baron can accurately calculate what's going on here. You know,
So
as I say, yeah.
Here's the scary thing, right?
Yeah, go.
So if you're Ilbin, you drop in your Dreadnought thinking, I've got a clear line to at least get some good stuff out of this combat. You play your faction alliance because Baron is, maybe passes, maybe plays Master Tactician instead of Cannon Turrets off the stop. If you don't put in a backup troop, you're gone. You spent 2 spice and are not even in the combat.
Yeah, he uses out Armada first and then gets Dreadnoughted out. That would be tragic. Ilban also, by the way, finds his Spice Hunter on the Arakeen draw, does not get the Spice Must Flow. So lost his coin flip.
Yep. Baron's going to go up to 6 combat strength just on the reveal, playing Master Tactician popping up over the top. Even if Ilbin follows it up and tries to poke him at 10.
Yeah, this is going to be tragic. He's going to play Allied Armada, and then I wonder if he might end up playing Karen Turrets first. I have a funny feeling. But yeah, you got 2 tacticians. I would rather use one of those first, and then Baron uses like Allied Armada, or Ilban uses that, and you respond with Karen Turrets and just lose it all. That is just savagery, and I think we might see it.
Yep,
it will be brutal.
We do have the benefit of omniscience here. It's really hard to, get that line out. You just want to play the cannon turret for effect. How often do you actually get to kick someone out of combat? So
Tessia is looking to holo project here. She's got her liaison and she's got her diplomacy, but she's not using it yet. So here it comes. It's all coming in here. This is going to be tragic news here. This is going to be really upsetting for someone. Here comes the troops.
Oh, she thinks it's assured. She's going to save that Dreadnought for next round.
Wow, this is actually big for her, because if she puts in... This is actually crazy. If she puts in the Dreadnought, it's a disaster. If she doesn't, it actually saves her the point. Would you believe it?
unless Baron decides to spite tie. I don't know where he thinks he's playing. No agent.
He's out of agents, so he's got a reveal here. Wow, this is going to be... Well, she's probably fortunate here.
Yep.
She's probably fortunate. So 4 swords here for the Baron. Wow. I mean, it's always interesting when people like leave the Dreadnought looking to get the extra power for the next one. But I mean, I guess you could go. But I'd rather be taking it with the Dreadnought, and then you cover 2 of the flags.
Yeah, but it works out. It works out in this case, right? She gets to live the dream.
Yeah. So this is going to be pretty sad. Hunjo reveals for however much that is, 4, 7, 8. So Kwisatz Haderach will be his. Whether he's going to see it though is another question. He's got a 15-card deck. He's going to take it, but it might not do anything.
I don't think it's going to be played for any major effect.
Having some issues there picking up. Second Spice Smuggler comes out there, by the way.
It's a little late, honestly, even for a thin deck.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get your value out of it, but you've got it. You feel like you've kind of got it.
I think I would have taken that Ixian Engineer.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard either way. So Ilban's going to reveal. So Ilban, again, missed out on his redraw Arakeen, so just the 8 for him. Again, it feels bad. And he's not doing a lot with 8 either. Like, it's kind of...
Yeah.
A lot of meh.
I think Baron just plays cannon turrets here anyway. Just kick Ilbin out of combat.
Yeah,
He wants to get those intrigues out of his hand.
Yeah, Siege River Mother looks pretty good here. Yep, we'll take that and just take liaisons. I think this is fine. Just he needs to start. He feels he's got to start getting spiceless flows for. And
he could take that Gene Manip.
He could.
What's he doing?
He could, but
it's way better than this liaison.
I mean, he is, but he's also got Throwing Bonds. He's got in the back of his mind, so.
He only, I guess.
Yeah, just gonna take the rev. I think that's fine. He's also got a huge deck as well.
Yeah.
So, and Tessia finds... She's going to be happy. She was not wanting to find diplomacy. She wanted that for next round, I'm pretty sure. So, finds the Ixian engineer. She has
Great
free
pickup for her.
She has free text, so she gets a coin flip. So, some people get there, some people missing out. So, Baron here is not going to play. Or unless he plays cannon turrets and just spites Ilban out of combat here.
You absolutely need to, because you're not going to take a round 3 combat with what he has, and he needs to get this stuff out of his hand.
Nah, he's just gonna deny it. Maybe he's got some Maybe he's just thinking like it's against someone who does have a dreadnought. That's an 11 sword swing that he holds in his hand, which isn't, that's not to be completely discounted. But it is going to be hard for him.
He is going to be able to get some troops this coming around, and depending on how his draw goes, he might even get appropriate with that training drones and actually compete. So maybe I spoke too soon.
Maybe.
There's the appropriate.
There's the appropriate. Finds it. So there's
Sonic Snoopers feels real good here.
Yep. Arakeen fires up here, so that's going to give a bonus troop to blue for the combat. Baron will begin here. So let's have a look at some hands here. Hundro finds Jamis. Ilban's got negotiated. Wow, he's got everything. Ilban's got negotiated withdrawal, Sardaukar Legion, Worm Riders. All sorts happening here. Tezia's hand is kind of not feeling too hot here. She's got the access to Highliners, and that's about the only thing really going on there. It's all kind of largely quiet outside of that. But Baron's going to go first. He will hit his... he's going to go for interstellar shipping, as he feels he's kind of got to. Going to take the spice. Doesn't take the cash. Interesting. Takes his Emperor bump. Gets him to 7 points.
I'm very fine with him taking the spice there, because he can pick up training drones for just
I
one
guess
spice.
the techs aren't very expensive, so I guess it's not that bad. He takes training drones now, which is also fine. So has a spare negotiator as well, so gets it effectively on the house, which feels pretty good. And then we'll can see what goes on from there. Memo Quarters turns up there. That's a nice one for the Baron. Hello. I think he might be appropriating that instead.
Absolutely. Far better than Spaceport here for him, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Arguable with the Sonic Snoopers, but having just picked up troops, he really wants to get in this combat.
Yeah, I mean...
Especially since there's 2 opponents with those dreadnoughts that he can force out.
Yeah, and they are not very heavily stacked afterwards. He might sneak this combat, which would be pretty ridiculous if he does. Absolutely absurd. Possible game-winning turn here for kmichael. Hundro is up. Hundro, let's see what he's got. So Spy Smugglers is sitting there. Jamis. He's got his guild ring. He's got his signet ring there. So he's going to be eyeing up... He could go Haga Basin for Spice. No. I know what... no, that's there. It's because of that. So that's totally fine. But I guess Hundro might consider... Like, do you go Haga Basin here and use the signet ring?
Oh, let me take a look at this hand real quick.
Jamis, Spy Smugglers, Dagger, Convincing
No,
Argument.
you don't Jamis. Jamis is worth more in his hand with artillery, I feel.
I agree, yeah. He's got a lot of artillery here.
I think you Spice Smuggler over to Research Station, hope to pick up a lot more swords, or you Signet to Research Station, I should say.
No, I think he's seeing 4 Spice, and he wants to take 4 Spice.
I mean, he gets to ship down and put some troops in.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking here. And I can totally understand this. I think this is not unreasonable.
He does have more swords in his deck that he could pull out, though. I think the Research Station...
He's going to look to use Spy Smugglers, though. He feels that he's not obviously got to get the cash together for War Chest here. So goes up with the Emperor. Makes total logical sense. It's one I would have gone for as well. We'll take the cash, sure, and does. I don't think I'd put the troops in right now. There's no need to. You're going to be hitting more cities and more combat spaces, so totally fine leaving those there. Ilban. So Ilban's got the real fun combination of Negotiated Withdrawal and Sardaukar Legion. So he can retreat troops with Negotiated and then put them straight back in with Sardaukar, which is pretty fun.
It feels good.
Has the dream scenario there. But yeah, 100 does have a ton of swords. A lot of people have a lot of swords here. Tezzy, I feel like, is probably going Highliner. Ilban's got Worm Riders. He's got Allied Armada. So there's going to be a ton of action here.
15 swords out of hand from Ilban.
Yeah, it's pretty savage. But I mean, Baron's got a load. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Tessia might go highliner here and might end up being like the person with the least strength in the end of this combat. It's pretty ridiculous.
Ilbin might run into the situation Tessia did, in that it is very conceivable that he might not have a place to go with that reconnaissance.
Wow, Ilban decides to use Sardaukar to go to High Council. I'm not sure I like that. I would have liked, withdraw, negotiated, and put him back in with Sardaukar rather than using them. Tessia's going to go second Dreadnought and steals the memo quarters from Baron. That's going to upset him.
Gets a water for his trouble, too.
Yeah, Tessia as well needs to hit these faction tracks really aggressively. It's only their second point here. Has been really light on the faction access, which is not really what you'll be doing with Tessia. It's been kind of a weird game, though. Holding off on Highliner, still an option to them there. If they want to go, they might see a ton of carnage, though, and think, maybe I've got better options. We'll see what the plan is here. Baron's up. Baron, I'm sure, was looking for that, so that's upsetting. Detonation devices turns up. I don't think that's going to be of use right now. Sonic Snoopers, maybe this is the chance to just go Mentat, take Sonic Snoopers, and just change it into think, right, I'm going to leave combat alone here.
It takes nothing.
Decides doesn't really use it.
I mean, if he's looking to try to get an inside line on this combat, you don't really want to Sonic Snoop any of his cards away. So I can see the logic there.
Yeah. I mean,
Never feels bad to just pick it up, though.
I mean, yeah, you've just got it. It's always an option there. I mean, it feels bad because it was obvious as going memo quarters, so that feels kind of rough. Here comes the Spy Smugglers. So doing this particularly for the money here, not so much the influence.
It will make Tessie a little nervous, which might influence her to actually go to Highliner.
Yeah, it gives more reason. She's got diversion in hand as well, so it's just like feels better.
I think in her case, though, I think the play is selective breeding.
Ooh, Hundro's not going to Spice Smuggle here? Yeah, there we go. He's like, oh yeah, sorry, I meant to do this. There we go.
If I'm Tessia, I selective breed here for sure. With an agent left to go, you've got the Bene Gesserit sister, or the Truthsayer, I should say, in your deck.
She's in the deck, but she's got to find it. Outside of that, she's got.
Selective breeding helps.
I mean, it does, but she's got 10 cards in that. Like, she could draw anything.
Yeah, she's got holo projectors as well. So you holo project that.
The water peddler out, yeah.
The water peddler, or she could, maybe if she picks up a blue after water projecting or after holo projecting water peddler, you go to research station.
You can just holo project the water out first and then use that and trash that with selective breeding. Get it.
Yeah,
that's probably the way to go.
Could do. She might be trying to get a line on a Spice one slow this round.
Yeah, there's also backup. She has High Council, so it's definitely there. We'll see what the plan is. Ilban's up next. So Ilban, again, I didn't really like the Sardaukar to High Council. I wasn't a big fan of that. We'll see what the plan is. So he's going to go tech negotiate. Is he going detonation devices?
I think so.
It looks like so. Yeah, he's going detonation devices. So he's going to rock on here. So that's a statement of intent there. He's saying he's going in here. He's gonna trust his swords out of to get the job done. So this is Tessia's where she's got to make a decision now. Here comes the holo project out. That was fairly likely. So this is where she's gonna make a decision. Does she decide to highline here or does she not? If she doesn't highline, like you feel like Blue's probably winning this combat on the face of it, right?
Yeah, I mean that's not really, honestly. If you know that Blue probably has his Worm Riders at this point, but you can't really plan for Allied Armada. You probably think he's got like 7 swords.
Whoa,
total, 8 swords.
She's just stacking up on Spice. She's prepping for Highliner. She's leaving it there. I think she's gotta be like basically she's going Highliner. Pretty sure here. She's just kind of like trying to dummy it out, I guess.
She already had it though, didn't she?
I mean, she does, but I think she's just trying to buy time here and try and make him guess. But putting in the
conspire.
Putting in the troop here and not putting in either of the dreadnoughts, neither of them just looks super weird.
I think she just wants to see what Ilbin does and then base the decision on that.
Nah, she's going Highline. If she had, what she should do is just put in one dreadnought and leave the troop in. That looks more natural. Just to put the troop in and neither dreadnought looks super weird to me. I would be completely convinced at this point she's going Highliner. Like 100%.
If I'm Tessia here with the deck constructed as it is, I actually probably diplomacy still to selective breeding.
I mean, I probably think maybe that is the way to go, but I'm convinced that Highliner's coming here. I can't see. That's so weird. It's so weird to put in the troop and neither Dreadnought. That's so strange that I'm like, my alarm bells are flying here at this point.
Well, if she is thinking her only way out is to pick up 3 points off of economic supremacy.
Maybe I bet it's, you never know it's gonna turn up. So
Because she's got 2 points still sitting on the board.
this is super weird. Baron goes to research station, picks up reconnaissance and spice must flow, so it feels pretty bad. You gotta be buying this intrigue here. I mean, you can't be scared of it being stolen. Like, if you lose one of those 3 cards, what does it really matter? I would be buying this 100%. You know, if someone goes and if someone goes secrets and you lose a tactician, like, what does that really matter in the end of the day? Not a lot. I think it's still worth getting this. But yeah, it's just, yeah, super weird from Tessia. I'd be astonished if she doesn't follow it with Highland, but we'll see. We'll see. So Baron does have training drones, so we'll be making use of that. Don't know if he's gonna put in troops here. I probably wouldn't.
I'd try to steal this combat if I was Baron.
I mean, you've got all the intrigues there. I mean, I guess, but
You got the intrigues. He could draw another intrigue right now. Toss that train drone in. 6 strength off of just
ambush
the
maybe,
troops.
private army.
You know, you get 6 strength off the troops. You get another 9 from hand, and then a virtual extra 3 by making Dreadnoughts retreat.
Yeah, that's just big. Like, that -3 to OP was good, but he decides against it, really scared of getting stolen from. Really terrified. Hundro is gonna just smuggle here, so he's gonna obviously just hold on to the swords with artillery, so he's gonna get a +5 from that. This is gonna be a bizarre combat, everyone. Like, I do not know what's gonna happen here. This is gonna be all over the place. This is gonna be pretty wild. Also worth noting, by way of Count Ilban, his cham shares are currently offline. He does not have the money for that, by the way.
Yeah.
He spent it all to go to his Swordmaster, so he doesn't have it.
High Council, actually.
Or High Council, whichever one it was.
Yeah.
So he's out of cash here. Ilban has 9. He's considering revealing now for the Spice Must Flow.
I mean, if Ilban reveals now, Tessia just goes in off a card.
Then if he reveals now, like, I think she
or she could actually go in off of still suits even, because she's got her signet coming up.
I mean,
it's not even a wasted action.
We'll see. No, he's gonna put the troops in. He feels it's more important to try and take the combat down, which is probably correct. So in they go.
It also gives him the water. He's going to have
well.
research station next round.
Yeah, so that's also an advantage. So I think this is not unreasonable. I wonder if he still considers negotiating withdrawal here. He might do. We'll see. Here, Highliner, it's so coming. It was 100% she was going adventuring. It was so weird her not putting in a Dreadnought there. I
disagree with it
very
strongly.
I mean, maybe so, but I was so convinced this was what was coming. So she's going to throw them in here, and this is going to be carnage.
I mean, it's got to be all of it. If you're doing it, you got to go big.
Yeah, you go.
This is the only combat you're getting.
Yeah, you go all in, but yeah, like, this was just. I don't see how she didn't do this.
She's got to pick.
And now there's here we go. Now the wordplay as well. So. Reckoning that negotiate withdrawals in hand and is debating whether they're going to retreat or not. So, because knows that this negotiate is probably in the hand here. So, I mean,
you still slam it. You don't say
you put them all in.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't try and
try
cheat
to save
this.
anything.
2 points. Yes, it's too big. This is too big a combat here. But I mean,
2 points, and then as Tessie, you spend your last round of the game trying to find 4 bumps between 2 faction tracks somehow. You play diversion here, so you can take interstellar shipping if it's available.
But even so, like, he doesn't have to retreat here. He doesn't. Again, he's got like 15 swords in hand here. Like, he can still win this combat. Wow.
I don't know why she's saving a troop.
Oh, put it in. Oh, put it in, Tessia. Let's get to the 23. She's trying to save. She's trying to save here. I mean, The thing is, she does that. It might be possible that Ilban like can retreat and still win this combat. As completely as insane as that sounds. Okay, does put it in. There we go. So that takes that out of the equation. But Ilban's going to win this combat here still, and he's going to get detonations. It's going to feel pretty nice here. And I don't think Tezia's saying, "Ah, well, I stopped negotiating withdrawal from happening." I don't think that's going to be a particularly useful consolation prize here.
The interesting thing to me is that
It does put them all in.
okay, I was gonna say this. I mean, let's see here.
Baron's wondering what he get
Ilban's
himself
got
into
15
here.
from hand, right?
Yeah, I think it's 56 plus 2 plus 7. Yeah, 15 potentially.
Yeah, so he takes it. He takes it if he wants it.
Yeah, it's there to have. He's going to win it by a nose.
15.
And the thing is, well, Tezia played diversion, so he knows that he's good. It's not even like if she's scared she's got ambush. She has no intrigues again because she played diversion, so he knows he's good.
Yeah, Ilban's gonna get that. Those 3 points by 1 combat power.
Wow. I mean, feels good. Feels good.
I can't think of a better use for 2 spice.
Yeah, pretty nice here. So Baron Harkonnen has an action in hand here. I mean, just securing the Bene Gesserit Alliance doesn't feel bad here. Gets you to 8 points in this bizarre game. There's worlds he finds enough for Spiceless Flow. It is possible here. He can find it. That does not go there. That goes onto the reserve pile. All cards from the reserve pile are returned there. Will not find Spiceless Flow. Finds Core Intrigue. A little unfortunate. I think I actually would have trashed the dagger and kept the Spiceless Flow in hand. That extra spice, you know, that has uses. That's just me. Guild Authorization will be used. It's not doing a whole lot. Does not have memo quarters, so this does not really help him. Just protects the intrigues here, which is obviously totally fine. Hunter's going to reveal for 5 swords. Trading Drones is a bit late to use here. He will not be able to deploy it. He's going to be probably happy enough he didn't deploy it.
In that position, I don't even think I play Guild Authorization. I think I try to get Sonic Snoopers.
I mean, he's got to go all the way around to get there again, though. It's pretty likely he's going to get something stolen.
Yeah, but he's not winning any combats either. So
I mean,
when
yeah.
do his intrigues matter?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there is some argument here, so 5 swords for Hundro here. I don't think it's 7. I think it's 11 here. 6 plus 5 to the 11. Baron, this is so weird. What a weird fight this is about to be. So obviously, Ilban's going to reveal for an absolute bucket ton of swords here, and Tezia's going to feel pretty sad here. To be fair, like I don't want to be critical here, but like Ivan could have gone in hard on the Machinations fight and got Ilban to use Allied Armada there, and it wouldn't be a problem now. Is that harsh? Maybe it is. But the fact kind of letting it have that for cheap and him not spending Allied Armada, it's come back to bite. Again, you could say that's critical here, but I don't think it is, and he's not retreating because he knows he's good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not.
He knows he's good with Armada, so, you know, Ivan, if you watch it back, I don't know if you're going to agree with me there, but if you'd gone hard Machinations and Armada was spent to win that combat, it wouldn't be here now, and those 2 points would be yours, so it feels kind of bad. I'm not going to lie. It's unfortunate you didn't know it was there, but it's the way it goes. So Ilban's going to be at 8 points here, and it's going to be probably favourite for the win here. Although Baron's there or thereabouts. I don't really know who's going to win this. This is pretty close. Been a wild game. Very, very methodical. People taking their time and kind of, you know, thinking their moves out, which I kind of like. You know, it's nice to have games where it's not like 100 miles an hour. It's done in like 15 minutes. It's harder to commentate, that's for sure. I like it this way when we get a bit more time to kind of discuss what's going on, what works, what doesn't. Last liaison taken for that extra Fremen bond, just to make that super hard. And Tezia Vernius sees the retreat not coming, realizes, oh dear. Realizes she's gonna miss out on this double by a single sword. And that is gonna feel rotten. Absolutely rotten. So, no Spice plus foe for the Baron. He's one short. Gets a couple of swords for whatever that's worth. It's not going to be worth a lot here. He's going to retreat with Charney. Actually getting use out of Charney there. Pretty cool. I didn't even think about that. That's how little I use Charney. But actual legit use of Charney to save the troops here for another day. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Maybe Baron has last in the thoughts on the next combat. I mean, it's up there. He could well do it. Like, everyone else has spent a lot of resources here. He has all the swords in his back pocket. He'd have to win the next combat to win this game, you'd feel. It's not his 8 to buy, though.
Well, he does have a conceivable point somehow.
I think
the
buying
track.
Imperial Bashar, that's a nice card for him, yeah, because he's likely to see these. He's gone through almost his whole deck here, so Imperial Bashar, that's a nice find for him. Gives an extra sword to all other cards with a sword, so he is gearing up for fighting. And here it goes, combat time. So Baron's going to be first. Baron's not in. Hondro will chill, and then Tesia Vernius is going to get the bad news by a single sword on a card that probably should have been burnt earlier. Aladamada comes in and takes the 3 points. Feels pretty bad. And there's no way to describe it. That is a crippling blow. So, Ilban's going to take the 3 points here. Tesia's going to have to settle with an intrigue and probably just the 2 spice. But yeah, horrible swap for Tesia. That might be the end of Tesia's game here.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
It's bad time. So takes the spice. And picks up stage incident now to throw salt into the wounds. Wow.
Well,
what a needle.
That makes Conspire an actual good play, because Conspire into Signet lets her pick up the Emperor point, a bunch of troops, drop them in.
It does, yeah. I mean, I guess so. It feels like a needle, though. So that obviously gets destroyed. So 8 points for Ilban. Takes, well, he's probably favourite here, but Baron's there with 8 points still. Tezzy was 600 on 5. 100 picks up Dispatch and Envoy. Not the worst card in the world. So here we go. It is round 8. It is Economic Supremacy. This could be Tessia Redemption. Tessia maybe, but Baron has Diplomacy. And Tessia has no way to get Hardy Warriors.
Baron, unfortunately, doesn't have a way to easily pick up more than 1 point off of this combat. He would have to try pretty hard.
It's going to be tough, but I mean, he'll take a point. But yeah, Tesia Vernius has got the resources, really, but it's going to be hard to get them in. Hundro's going to go with the Interstellar. He's going to take the bump with the Emperor here, just to secure that alliance. Gives him his 6 point.
Ilban gets a payoff.
Yeah, Ilban gets his research station, puts the troops in, gets there's a spice must flow in there somewhere, folks. I'm not going to count it, but there's a spice must flow there. Just take the word for it.
And he does get the negotiate withdrawal, which will let him get the guild point. Yep. So buying the spice must flow with the guild point.
Gonna be good here.
He can hit 10.
Yeah. And here is the Conspire play. It's a good spot. Yeah, it's a good call. This. It's a good call. This. I do like it. Yeah, gets this in. Can put everything in as well not everything, but I mean, it's debatable if she has to do this, but I mean, the spice isn't really doing anything else right now. Oh my gosh, she finds rapid mobilization. Wow, that's nice. That's a bonus.
I don't think it does anything.
I mean, get some more troops in. Like, she can't get these garrison troops in too easily. Like, gives a bit of extra flexibility. She's also got 18 engineers, so there's a point there. I think that's going to be more useful than it looks.
I think it gets maximum two troops in, and staged incident is the backup plan anyway.
I mean,
so
I guess.
I don't think it's very relevant.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, I'd rather have it than not. I guess you'd rather have like an ambush or something.
I think you'd rather know that someone else doesn't have it. I think that's probably the most useful thing about it right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's arguable as well. All right, then. Baron Harkonnen is up here. So Baron's got his appropriate for a second spin if he wants to Sonic Snoop now. This is his last chance to do it. He could also buy Spaceport. He has 5 persuasion, but I think Hardy Warriors, he's going to go first here, and he's going to do so. This seems totally reasonable.
Well, if he went up there to tech negotiation, he could have gotten the Sonic Snoopers and something else, including
maybe. But I think he just wants to get troops in. He's happy.
100%.
He's got these swords in. Even if he only gets a point out of it, like, it's still a point. It's not that bad. I think this is fine. Also denies it from, like, Tesia if somehow she now has access there or something. Keeps Hundra away from it. So Hundra's got a ton of resources as well. Just keeps everything away from everyone else from Hardy Warriors. So
where it gets really interesting here is Sonic Snoopers is high value right now.
Everyone's got intrigues, yeah, definitely.
So the really cool thing here is if Baron picks up the guild track bonus with guild administrator, just for lack of better things to do with his actions, he can follow it up with an appropriate and possibly. Oh no, flagship
has not been found. It's out there somewhere. There are worlds he finds it.
It's possible, and that plus a combat point.
And I have a funny feeling that Ilban's going to take Sonic Snoopers here. I've got a funny feeling he's going to go for that because his 2 intrigues are doing nothing, so he might just cycle here a little bit.
Can Ilban get Sonic Snoopers?
I thought he had a spice from somewhere. I guess he can't. I guess I've completely forgot that.
He spent it out on
of course.
Allied Armada.
So he did.
I think Tessia picks it up and jumps the rapid mobilization.
I mean, yeah. And probably just cycles whatever she picks up here. So Tessia
needs to get troops in first.
Hundra just throwing troops in here. Hundra's at 8 here. So Hundra is eyeing up tech negotiation as well just to get to his 9th point here. Mentat for Ilban gives him even more cards. I mean, there's most of his deck out, but it's not really doing a ton. He has 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 16 persuade, 18. He has 2 Spiceless Flows in hand. Oh my god!
Well, that's pretty good. That gets him up to 11.
That's 3 points. Yeah. Wow. I cannot believe that. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 16, and he has high council. That's 18 points. Holy moly.
Signet to Carthag is the obvious bit here.
Holy moly, I didn't realize but what a massive Mentat there. That's a 2-point Mentat. Don't get to say that often. Back to Tesia Verdance here, yeah. So Signet Ring to a city.
Carthag.
Yeah, Carthag's got to be, and just get all the troops in here.
And then you just pray that Sonic Snoopers is around. If Sonic Snoopers is around when it wheels back, then you're happy. If not, you dump your dagger to hollow projectors and keep it moving.
Yeah, pretty much. I get the feeling, we can't hear the players, but I have a feeling this is probably pretty tense for the players. Like, this is pretty close. I think everyone here feels like they've got half a shot at winning this. Like, I mean, Ilban and/or Baron are probably favourites here, but everyone feels like they've got potential chances, you know. And then bear in mind, it's not just about winning here. Every place has points to carry, so even fighting for second is pretty bad. Those 3 points are pretty good. You know, nice, not bad. It's the first round, get 3 points. You know, I'd be happy with that. So everyone's kind of trying to make sure they're making the best plays here. It's easier for us, of course, sitting here, seeing everyone's cards, but definitely in Tesia's shoe, like the Carthag trip seems the way. And then is what we see here. What does she pull? Finds charisma, doesn't do anything. It's snooper fodder, really, if she gets there.
My only question is, if she gets snoopers, does she ditch the stage incident to try to pick up 2 points off of this combat?
Oh,
that's a hard choice.
Oh, that's brutal. I mean, you're gonna have more information at that point.
If she puts in the dreadnoughts but not any troops to follow, that's kind of an indicator, right?
I mean, I'd be astonished. I mean, you put in the troops anyways. Like, this.
Well, stage incident, you have to lose 3 troops.
Of course,
You'd have to do 3 troops and 1 dreadnought.
I mean, to me, this feels like last round. It's not guaranteed last round, but to me, I'm looking at this, I feel like this is last round. Just sitting there. It feels very likely it's last round, so...
I mean, she can go to Siege Tabor and get more troops in that way.
It's a crazy spot, because if she wins the combat, and she has Ixion Engineer, like, she gets 10 points, she ends the game. So...
But if Ilban just reveals he hits 11 and
I mean, she can't know that. She can't know she's got 2 spice. It's so hard to have 2 spice flows in hand. Like, it's so hard to do that. So, I'm fascinated to know what's going to happen here exactly. We shall see. Ilban wishes he could get a 3rd troop in here, retreating with Negotiate to get the spacing point and then put them back in with Sardaukar or whatever else, but he can't, sadly. So he's kind of got little choice here. I don't see any way for him to make that work, which is what it is. But he's going to have 3 points in reveal. I mean, that feels pretty good here. Here's the point here. Hold on, Green. Hold on. Oh, yeah, she doesn't get the troops in. It's only a 3rd bump. She only gets the extra bump in. Of course not.
Right.
Yeah. So she only puts in the dreadnoughts. She's leaving the troops out.
That's what I'm saying. It leaves Stage Incident on the table.
Yeah.
She has to be going for Sonic Snoopers at this point, and I don't know what she expects to find.
Yeah, I mean, I would have put them in anyways. I mean, regardless, she tried to do this deceiving stuff with the Highliners. Maybe she's trying to do it again with rapid mobilization, make it less obvious. Maybe she's going to use it anyways.
What are you hiding?
I mean, I know there's not a lot to hide, but I'm just trying to say what people sometimes perhaps are thinking here. You know, Baron here, by the way, it looks like he's going to take this combat. He's looking pretty good. Here comes the appropriate. This is going to upset Tessia Vernius very much here.
I don't think so. I wouldn't spend this money.
Is he gonna go space?
This money is a point. This money is a point right now. He can only get 1 point if he spends on anything.
Oh, he is. Oh my gosh, he is gonna go snoopers. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, who knows what's happening here? Finds glimpse the path. So does he snoop? What has happened?
I mean, why would you buy it?
Oh, he doesn't. Of course, he doesn't have to pay Solari. It's may use Solari. He still spends the spice.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah.
Yes,
okay, got
of
it.
course.
All right,
Yeah,
fair enough. Fair enough.
Everyone. Yeah, it's a complete good point. Yeah, but it was appropriate. You don't have to use Solari. You can use spice. I bet people have been shouting at us for that for like 10 minutes. So, face down. There we go. So let's see what he gets rid of this. Does he get rid of anything else? Or is he just going to cycle that out? So that tells you his intentions. He's going to try and win this combat and take 10 points, shut his eyes, and hope he's good here. Finds sisters. That does nothing for him, unfortunately.
It doesn't feel bad, though.
I mean, yeah, you're not getting stolen from. So you'd rather... I guess it's not a disaster, but it's not doing anything for you, sadly.
Yeah.
So Hundro Moritani's up next. Hundro has 8 in hand. Wow. Hundro Moritani could tech negotiate and get Chalmurky here. It gets him his point. It gets him some potential fun intrigues. It gives him tiebreakers as well. That might matter. No, he's not going for that. Oh, he's got my apologies. He's got like a load of points. He's got Minimic and Counselor. Sorry, he has like 11 points. Okay, so he's gonna get troops in here.
Yeah, he's making a try for it.
He's gonna just punt in here. This is fine.
And what's interesting is nobody here is giving Baron credit for having combat intrigues because he's been in combats and just has not been playing them.
No, I mean indeed. But the thing is now I see him Sonic Snoop and he takes out one card which he just pulled and then that was it. So I'd be pretty concerned about what he's holding. I wouldn't think they're all combats.
I would think they were all end games.
I mean, we haven't seen any, so it's very possible. Ilban just goes tech negotiate. He's got nothing better to do here.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt him. Leaves him neutral for 2 spice must flow. Kick the can down the road, block somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Better than just revealing. I think this is fine. Does mean he can actually go to he can actually make his way to just like hit wealth.
Tessia just got the worst of all worlds here, though. She has to rapid mobilize, and then she's going to have to stage incident just to get up to 8 points.
Yeah,
that feels pretty bad.
Yeah, it has not gone Tessie's way this one. I mean, she's been a bit unlucky, I think. Maybe some of that, as it turns, has been slightly self-inflicted, but you can't really control some of the things. Here comes the hollow projections. No hope of trying to buy Spice's flow here. Finds Doom Desert Planet, which is, I mean, go Great Flat. It's 4 spice. You get, 4 spice is 4 spice. It all matters at the end of the game. I don't think this is nothing wrong with this.
And they're the outside edge from the non-omniscient perspective of maybe this goes another round.
I mean, there's inferior as well, but worse than the worst. Like, it's an extra spice. It's tiebreakers against like Hundro.
Yeah,
You know, so
she's definitely rooting for Hundro in this combat.
And
though.
I have won positions in games. I've won games from just barreling Spice in the last round and just hoping it was good enough for a tiebreaker, and it was that I wouldn't have otherwise. So it's definitely gets missed. Hundro, Baron here even. Baron's got not much to do here. I would just go Fold Space and just like if this goes another round, that's pretty awkward for Tezia perhaps. So no reason not to. Better than doing nothing. I think this is fine.
I probably would have gone Haga Basin just to block up.
Probably just to take the Spice, yeah. Trash is to go appropriate. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. So 100 buys Spice, gets him up to 7. Ilban is about to give everyone the bad news here. Unless he goes Sardaukar first, which he can do. He has 5, 7, 11, 13, 15. So he has 19 persuasion, so he can just go Sardaukar with wealth here. He's still fine. He's like the big stack at the poker table, just counting the chips. Like, have I got that much? Oh, I've got that much. Okay. And you see, just doing the maths here, but he does have 18. He has 19, assuming he doesn't use the Bene Gesserit for the swords, which he's not going to do. So he does get a free use out of Sardaukar Legion. Just the wealth, better than nothing.
In case it goes another round, that's a Mentat first action right there.
Yeah, couple of troops, like better than a kick.
Oh no, it's not going another round. He knows he's ending it.
Oh, he knows, but it's like,
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe this goes to Garrison tiebreakers. You'd rather have the troops than not, right? Can you imagine?
No reason not to take an action.
So Tezia gets the point from Ixian Engineer to take her to 8. Rapid mobilization will come in for the rest of the troops. And we'll see what happens here. Yeah, so here they come. Yeah, Tezia's definitely done a few of these of just kind of like trying to like dummy and feint the opponents here. Definitely, that has been noticeable.
Yeah, she'd love for it to stay tied, but it will not.
That is not how it works here. She's actually in the lead officially here because of the extra sword. So, but she's not going to get very far here. She knows that stage instant is going to be it. She's going to get some resource at the end, I guess. So, couple of swords from Baron, and yeah, Baron's going to take this down for 10 points. But Ilban
will end at 11.
Yeah, Ilban's going to have the double spice by here to take this one down.
I always love seeing an Ilban win.
He's not my favorite leader, admittedly, but yeah, you don't get to see this often. So there you go, 18 persuasion,
and a spice to boot,
and an extra spice for good measure. There's his Holtzman point. So feels good. Feels pretty good.
The entire table is going to go ahead and count that.
Yeah, everyone's counting, as they should do. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, I gave him the spice. So... yeah. Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, as it turned out, that trip to Siege, generated a load of victory points. So I can't fault that.
More a move I would have expected out of Hundro holding Leah this game.
Yeah. Barely seen anything of her. Right, so that is going to be that. So it's combat time, it is. So Hundro's going to hold on for his victory point. Tezia will pass. Baron's going to take the swords here. It's going to be interesting, actually, because it's going to go back round to Hundro here. And Hundro's going to be in a bit of a weird spot if he uses War Chest to get ahead of... Oh, he is ahead anyways, actually, so... So Blue's going to pass. Red will pass here. They're not going to stage yet. Because obviously at the moment they're getting 3 points. Baron will use cannon turrets to...
I think Hundro does War Chest.
I mean, it's kind of weird now. Because he's going to be tied with Red here. So it's kind of weird.
Oh yeah, the one point either way doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, he hangs on to it for a quick second.
I need to work it right here. So 3, 5, 7, 9. I don't know where Red is. I need to work out the maths. I think Red's at like 11 or 10. Oh, she's got higher. She's got restricted ordnance, so she's at 14 here. It's a bit complicated, this maths. It's a bit all over the place. As everyone just tries
Baron
to...
should be at 17.
Yeah, and the maths is done here. So
and I think Hundro will go ahead and War Chest.
He feels like he has to, right?
Yep. Because it denies a point to someone else, and he's thinking, you know, I still win. I can pay for this point.
Is he at 19?
I would take the gamble. I think he's at 17, right?
I don't know.
Seven,
I'm
eight,
gonna trust their maths here.
16, 17, 18. Hold on.
Yeah.
So he's got, that's 12 plus 5 plus 2, 19. Yeah, 19's correct.
All right, then. So then it's tempting for 100 to do it, but like it's gonna be a disaster. It's horrible if
if he sits on it.
If he sits
you know,
on it, it's a guarantee.
Baron is guaranteed to shoot ahead of him. If he doesn't, he can
it's
deny
bad.
Baron.
I mean, yeah, but if he sits on it, he's getting 2 points. One from combat and one from this. It looks like he's passed again. Well, he might not do. He has the option. What does Hundred want to do here? If he does it, it's going to cost him a point. Oh, he's looking at it. Oh, he decides against it. He's holding off. He's decided against. He's going to take the 1 point by looks of it, and just take the end game point and call it a day, which I think is fine. I mean, that's totally fine here. So
I would risk giving up third at a chance for second.
Yeah, decides against it though. So that is going to be that. So final standings here is Count Ilman is going to win the game with 11 points, courtesy of Holtzman Engine. Baron Harkonnen gets second place with 10. Tezia Vernius eventually finds a way to third place with 9. And 100 Muratani with is also going to get to 9, but loses out on the Spice tiebreak. No one picked up Chow Murky, so that is how it's going to out. It was a bizarre game, this. It was all over the place.
I will say hats off to Tessia for finding a way up to 9 out of some really frustrating situations.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, this is a wild match, this. All over the joint. But pretty entertaining nonetheless. Let's go ahead and have a chat with the players here. Well, I've got to say, as a spectator, that was a pretty entertaining game. I don't know what it was like for you guys, but
oh, it was nerve wracking. I just
really
couldn't
tense.
get access when I needed it.
Yeah, it looked like a really tense game. This, like, for sure. Like, everyone was playing super careful, trying to make sure they were getting the right stuff going on. You know, it was real nip and tuck. Like, I didn't really know who was going. It was pretty close all the way as well. Like, it was pretty hard fought. The massive double spice, one of the biggest mentats I've ever seen. I've ever seen the Ilban pull there, giving you 2 victory points basically. Feels pretty good. But maybe as much finding the trip to Siege the round before to set up research station was also as instrumental in that as anything else. So I can't deny that.
I was really trying to put one more troop in to get another bump with spacing.
So there is one potentially heartbreaking thing here. So obviously in the previous combat, like Tezia by a sword loses it to Allied Armada. It feels really horrible because watching it, because Ilban had Allied Armada since like basically the start of the game, which is pretty insane. And I thought for a while you were going to barrel into the Machinations fight, which would have meant that Ilban had to spend the Allied Armada then if he wanted to win it, and then you nade off, so he won it pretty comfortably, and it comes back to you there, unfortunately, at the end to take the previous round. It's pretty unlucky.
Yeah, I didn't think I could. That's what was happening there. For some reason, I didn't. On that Machinations fight, there was. He had 2 swords. So he had. So I only had 1 sword in hand. So I don't think I would have tied him. I think I was going to come up 1 short. I knew he had those daggers in hand just because of his card play of what he had in his discard. But maybe I'm wrong. I'll be curious to watch it. I thought I was always going to come up 1.
No, I think it was weird. I mean, you were never going to win that combat, but because you didn't barrel in and you didn't use Allied Armada, he then got to use it later on and take the previous combat from you, which was pretty brutal. So, I mean, you can't know he's got that. I readily accept that, but watching on was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah,
And then Baron was sitting on all these commenting streaks for so long. I mean, it's just completely absurd. Like how they didn't. They were going to use the round before, and then everyone just barreled in, and Ilban had like 15 swords in hand. So, and then the Charney, actually seeing Charney use there was awesome. So I hate that card really. So it's nice to actually see some legitimate use out of there, coming up some trumps there. It was an all over the place game.
That was the second time I've ever had her, and both times she's come in handy
Yeah, I mean,
with a very similar situation.
yeah, I don't rate it too much, to be fair. Like, I don't rate that ability, but as it turned out, it paid some dividends here. But yeah, it was a pretty fun match. It's nice as well to have a match that's kind of slower paced. It helps us on the commentary side of things for sure. To be able to like, you know, talk about the game as much instead of a game it's like it's over in 40 minutes and we're just like, what happened? We don't know. So we'll appreciate it from that side. But it was good. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. It was all over the place.
Yeah, thanks guys. Look forward to playing again. Redeeming myself.
It was not the easiest Tessie game in the world. It was tough.
Oh well,
You took some chances. You took some chances.
I should have never gone. Yeah, I took some risks. I shouldn't have gone combat. You didn't use like a diplomacy and that Emperor card one turn because I decided to get this instead.
Oh, the Imperial Spy, and then just sat in your hands.
Yeah, just sat there, and I kept keeping it around because I wanted that sword for some of those combats because I knew they were gonna be close, and I ended up just on the wrong side of those combats.
Just getting suckered in. Yeah, it was full. I mean, I've been there. I mean, my Tessia game from last tournament is a classic example of how it can go horribly wrong. I've been there.
And my biggest blunder was buying this instead of this.
Yeah. We were. Agent of Zion was not impressed. I will say. I will say that.
Yeah, I should have bought this one because I ended up stuck on that turn, with the 2 blue spaces I could access being shut from me. So
yeah, definitely.
Picked wrong.
So that is going to do it for us here at the Golden Path Internationals. I hope you've enjoyed this game. Very, very different flavour to the previous match we commentated here. Very, very fun. And I could definitely feel it was very tense amongst the players. Everyone kind of getting very ropey towards the back end there. Yeah, what a couple of really, really fascinating plays made there. And I think it'll be very interesting for all the players and for you guys as well watching back and giving us your thoughts on the game. Definitely could have been moves. People have played differently in hindsight. It's always the wonderful thing. But I think it was a fascinating finish. I think probably the right person won at the end of the day, so I can't fault that entirely. And yeah, it was good times. Good way to spend a couple of hours. So thank you all for your company, as per always. Thank you to AgentOfZion for his company on the commentary as well. And we will see you all in the next conflict.